I'm standing in my backyard, wedding dress catching bits of light from the string bulbs overhead. For a second, it all feels right, the weather, the flowers, Julian laughing with his college friends by the plywood dance floor. I finally did something right, you know? Then Mom shows up. She's wearing that smile, the one that never quite makes it to her eyes. I know it too well. It's her I'm about to ruin your day and call it love face. Anya, darling, you look beautiful. She's smoothing my sleeve, like she can't help herself. I need to tell you our little plan. Plan? My stomach does a backflip. There shouldn't be any plans on my wedding day except the ones Julian and I made. We've decided to give the car to Sierra, Mom says, all breezy, like she's just commenting on the weather. I just blink at her. What car? The Jeep, of course. She waves over to where Julian's parents stand next to that shiny white Wrangler with the blue ribbon, the $28,500 wedding gift they handed us a few hours ago. Sierra needs it more than newlyweds with two incomes. I glance past Mom and spot my sister, Sierra, standing there in a champagne-colored dress that probably costs more than my rent. She meets my gaze, does a little wave, and jingles a set of keys. Car keys. All around us, 85 people are laughing, dancing, having the time of their lives. Not a clue about what's happening in the eye of the storm. I don't understand, I say, but I do. Of course I do. This is just another Tuesday in the Vance family. Honey. Mom pats my arm, voice full of warning. Sierra's still building her career. You and Julian are established. It's just a car. Don't make this a thing. I feel my stomach not the same way it always has. The hollow ache of being expected to give up what's mine to make room for Sierra. When I was 10, Mom made me give her my bigger bedroom. You're older, you understand. And I did. I understood Sierra's wants always came before my needs. At 16, I worked 2 jobs to buy a used Honda with 95,000 miles on it. They never mentioned that. They just praised Sierra for her straight A's, like her study time hadn't come from my exhaustion. Julian saw all of it. The holidays where Sierra got the latest laptop and I got scented candles. The dinners with her favorite meals. The vacations planned around her schedule. And now, here my wedding day. Julian notices. He excuses himself from his group and comes over, concern written all over his face. Everything okay? He asks, but his eyes say he already knows. Meanwhile, Mom's explaining to my old roommate Maya, Sierra needs reliable transportation for her freelance gigs. They have 2 incomes, after all. Sierra's smiling like she's already won. It's just a car, honey, Mom says again, waving me off. My hands start to shake, but my voice is steady. Excuse me a moment. I open my tiny wedding clutch and pull out a sealed envelope. Mom gives me that confused look, like she can't imagine what I'm about to do. You're giving away our wedding gift, Mom? My words cut right through the party noise. A few heads turn. Julian stands beside me solid. I feel it, this isn't just love anymore. It's a partnership. An alliance. Anya, this isn't the time or place, Mom hisses, her smile cracking. When would be better? After Sierra drives off in our Jeep? I hold the envelope up. Did you even ask Julian's parents if you could give away their gift? Across the lawn, Arthur and Claire Walsh look over, clearly picking up on the tension. Mom's cheeks go red. This is a family matter. Yes, it is, I say. And Julian is my family now. Dad comes over, looking troubled. He opens his mouth, but nothing comes out, same as always when Mom pulls this stuff. I open the envelope and pull out a single sheet of paper. This is a notarized document. It says wedding gifts can't be transferred without my consent. Julian and I had it prepared last week. Sierra shrieks, keys clenched in her fist. The party goes dead quiet. Mom stares at me like I'm a stranger. Maybe I am to her. I stand my ground, the paper trembling in my hands. Mom's face goes from bossy and sure to just stunned. The whole room gets weirdly quiet. I say, there's more, and my voice sounds way steadier than I feel. I reach into my clutch again and pull out my phone. Sierra didn't just show up today expecting the car. She actually snuck into our condo's parking garage last night. Sierra takes a step back, her champagne dress catching the lights strung up over our heads. Anya, come on, she says, but I've already unlocked my phone. I turn the screen to Mom. There it is, a photo of Sierra by the Jeep, big ribbon and all, one hand on the hood, the other giving a thumbs up. The caption? My new adventure mobile. Dad steps in, hands up like he's trying to calm a wild animal. She was just excited, Anya. Don't blow this up. Excited about what, Dad? Julian's voice cuts in, sharp. About taking our wedding gift without asking? I swipe again and show everyone a text thread from 10 days ago. It's Mom telling Sierra, we'll handle it at the reception. Easier to present as decided than to ask permission. Now Julian's parents push through the crowd. Claire's face is flushed, her silver bracelet catching the light as she shakes her head. Arthur looks stern, tie slightly loosened, brow furrowed. Gwen, Claire says, is this true? You told us the Jeep was for Anya and Julian. Mom's smile stretches tight, almost fake. Claire, Arthur, we're just making adjustments. That's what families do, we share. Share? I echo. The word tastes sour. You didn't ask us to share. You just announced you were taking. Sierra steps up, and suddenly she's got that wounded look she's been perfecting since we were kids. Why are you making such a scene, Anya? It's just a stupid car. If it's just a stupid car, Julian says, calm as anything, why do you want it so badly? Now people are staring. The dance floor is empty. The band's guitarist is frozen, pick poised mid-strum. Mom leans in, her perfume, the same she's worn forever, suddenly too much. You're causing a scene over nothing. Think of the family shame. Family shame. I repeat it, and something inside me cracks open. My therapist's voice pops up in my head. Patterns continue until you break them. I've agreed with that for years, just nodded along, but never done anything. But standing here in white lace, I see what happens if I let this slide again. This isn't about a car. It's about respect. About the life Julian and I are supposed to be building together. I remember sitting with Julian before the wedding, boxes everywhere, and him saying, we need boundaries. Your family will keep taking until there's nothing left. I told him he was right. So why is it so hard now? Because it's always been easier to give in. Because I've spent my whole life being the good one, the peacemaker, the daughter who understands. Sierra jumps on my silence. Mom's right, you're embarrassing yourself. Julian doesn't raise his voice. We're not running a charity, Sierra. Arthur steps forward and takes the notarized document from my hand. He reads it, his reading glasses perched on his nose. This looks legally binding to me, he says, and hands it back. From the corner of my eye, I spot Maya, phone up, quietly recording Mom's reaction. Our wedding planner moves through the crowd, trying to herd people toward the bar. Claire puts her hand on my shoulder. It's not heavy, just steady. Anya, she says, what do you want to happen? Mom's eyes narrow. She wants to stop embarrassing us and act like family. No, Mom. The words come out easy now. I'm done with the tradition. The one where Sierra gets whatever she wants, and I'm supposed to smile about it. I pull out a second envelope unmarked. This is a notice about unauthorized entry. Sierra went into our secured parking garage without permission to take pictures with a vehicle that isn't hers. Dad moves between us, desperate. This is a wedding, not a courtroom, he says, and his voice cracks. Exactly, I say. So maybe we stop pretending entitlement is love. The words just hang there raw, sharp, and true. Mom opens her mouth, then closes it. For once, she's got nothing to say. I feel hollow and weirdly victorious. My eyes sting, not because I'm sad, but because 28 years of this are finally over. Julian slips his arm around me. He turns to the band, who are still just standing there. Play something, he says. The guitarist nods, and at last, music drifts through the quiet, filling up the space where all that tension used to be. Julian pulls me away from my family and onto the dance floor. You okay? He whispers. I'm not really. But I will be. That Jeep looks better on us anyway, I say, and seeing his smile, yeah, it's worth every awkward second. Behind us, I hear Sierra's voice again, louder, but it's different now. Fainter. Like her words can't reach me the way they used to. Mom's whispers don't hold that old weight either. They're just words, not rules. Around us, People start chatting again, the drama fading back into the buzz of a wedding. Still, something's changed. I spot Claire across the room. She catches my eye and lifts her champagne glass, just a silent toast. Arthur stands beside her, gives a solid nod. For the first time, I feel like I'm finally walking my own road, not just the one everyone paved for me. The pressure eases. I stand a little taller in Julian's arms as we take back our wedding, step by step. 4 days later, I wake up to my phone blowing up. Not Julian's usual good morning text, but a flood of notifications. My stomach drops. Sierra's Instagram post jumps out at me. Some people value possessions over people, praying for those who measure love in material things. The comments are piling up: friends, distant relatives, mom, all chiming in. Family should always come first. Julian stirs next to me. What's up? I show him the phone. His jaw clenches as he reads. They're trying to rewrite history, I say, scrolling through more alerts. The family group chat is chaos: cousins, aunts, everyone weighing in. Aunt Lydia, Anya, we're all worried about you. This isn't like you. Uncle Marcus, weddings should be about joy, not conflict. Julian grabs my phone and sets it face down. Let them talk. We know the truth. Then my phone buzzes again. Maya sent me a GoFundMe link. The title is a slap in the face: stranded by selfishness. Help a sister regain her independence. The description? Even worse. My sister chose a second luxury vehicle over my basic need for reliable transportation to my new job. Help me recover from this betrayal. I whisper, she's already raised almost $650. Julian shakes his head. People will pay to be part of the drama. I refresh the page. Someone named Truth Teller just donated $25, commenting, maybe save your own money? The sound that comes out of me is a rusty laugh. When was the last time I actually laughed about anything involving Sierra or Mom? We should just ignore them, Julian says, pulling me in. That's what they want, to drag us into their story. My phone rings. It's Owen, our wedding photographer. Anya? Just giving you a heads up. Your mom called, asked me to delete some reception photos, specifically the ones of you and Julian with the Jeep. My hand tightens on the phone. And? I told her those photos belong to you and Julian. She wasn't happy. But I'll send you everything today, even the raw files. Thank you, I say, relief flooding through me. When I hang up, Julian's already getting dressed, pulling out his laptop. We need to document everything. Screenshots of the posts, texts, GoFundMe. All of it. I nod, and suddenly it's clear, this isn't just about a car. It's about their story, painting me as the villain, the ungrateful daughter who turned her back on family. Julian looks up. We should change the locks. Just in case. They wouldn't just walk in, I say, but even as I say it, I know better. Boundaries have never meant much to my family. Better safe than sorry, Julian says, already searching for a locksmith. 5 hours later, the doorbell rings. Through the peephole, I see Mom and Dad on the porch of our townhouse. Mom's clutching her tote bag like it's a lifeline. They're here, I call to Julian. He joins me at the door, squeezes my shoulder. Ready? I take a breath and open the door. Mom's eyes are puffy, about to spill over. I can't believe my own daughter would humiliate me like this. Dad steps forward, hands open in a peace offering. Your mother hasn't slept since the wedding, Anya. Neither have I say, but for different reasons. They follow us inside. Mom perches on the edge of the armchair, like she might bolt. Dad stands behind her, his hands resting on her shoulders. Mom's voice shakes. After everything we've done for you. All those sacrifices, all that support. This is how you thank us? The guilt creeps up, familiar as ever, but this time, something else cuts through. Clarity. What sacrifices, Mom? What support? My voice sounds steadier than I thought possible. When I needed tutoring, you said we couldn't afford it. Sierra got a private tutor that same semester. I worked 2 jobs just to contribute to community college, but you paid for Sierra's full university housing. I saved for 2 years to buy my first car. You handed Sierra money for her insurance and lease payments. Mom opens her mouth, searching for words, but nothing comes out. I got into NYU's design program and couldn't go because, apparently, state school was smarter. Sierra got into UC Berkeley, and you took a loan from your retirement. I started my Etsy shop. Suddenly it was just a side hustle. Sierra started a blog for 6 months. You bought her a $1,800 laptop and professional hosting. Each story drops into the room, sending ripples through the silence. I've spent my life accepting less so Sierra could have more. But not this time. Not on my wedding day. Not with a gift that was never yours to give. Mom's shock is almost funny. She's never heard me talk like this. Heck, I've never talked like this. The words feel strange in my mouth, but they're finally right. This isn't about a Jeep, I tell her. This is about respect. Something I never asked for, but always deserved. My phone buzzes. Maya again. Stay strong. I've got your back. At the same time, Julian's phone pings. His parents want us over for dinner tomorrow. We want to show our support. Mom's eyes flick from my phone to Julian's. Who's that? Are you talking about us to strangers? They're not strangers, Julian says. They're our support system. They respect boundaries. Dad shifts in his seat. Anya, we just want to handle this quietly. Family matters stay in the family. I agree, I say. And Julian is my family now. This isn't you, Mom whispers. Someone's turned you against us. I stand up. I'm tired of chasing my own tail in this conversation. I need you both to leave now. Mom's eyes go wide. We drove all this way. Without calling first, I cut in. Another boundary crossed. Family doesn't treat family this way, she says, one last jab. I meet her eyes. Exactly. That's why things need to change. For once, she looks lost. All her old tricks, tears, guilt, the weight of family, don't work on me anymore. Dad glances at her, then at me. I catch something in his face, a glimmer of understanding, maybe respect. When the door shuts, Julian pulls me into a hug. You did it. My phone buzzes again, my therapist. Emergency session available this week if needed. We need to document everything, I say, heading for the laptop. Every text, post, call. Julian's already got the wedding video pulled up. We'll save it all, just in case. Together, we draft an email to the whole family. No unannounced visits. No shaming. No using other relatives to manipulate. Julian asks, what if they ignore it? Then we make some choices, I say, saving the draft. I'm not ready to send it yet. We spend the evening working on backup plans. If the messages keep coming, if they show up at work, if they go after Julian's family again. For once, I'm not scrambling to keep up. I'm actually ahead. 10 days later, I'm folding sweaters into the suitcase on the bed. Julian's in the closet, grabbing hiking pants. Ready for the great escape? He jokes, grinning. It's not an escape, I say, but there's no edge in my voice. It's a strategic retreat. The Blue Ridge Parkway is calling. We've talked about this road trip for months. Now it feels right. We're not running away. We're moving toward something better. Did you install it? I nod toward the garage. Tracking devices set. Dash cams recording. If anyone messes with the Jeep, we'll have proof. That Jeep, our wedding gift, the one Mom and Sierra tried to claim, means more than just getting from A to B now. It's our line in the sand. I never expected my first big marital battle would be about defending our property from my own family. I check my phone. The email is scheduled to go out to everyone the day after tomorrow. Our boundaries, in writing. We'll live well instead of always fighting. That's the best revenge. Julian stands beside me. Are you sure you want to do this? It really does feel like we're slipping out the back door. That's exactly what's happening, I admit, touching Julian's arm, not because we're scared, but because their crisis isn't ours. While Julian finishes packing, I check the security system one last time. New cameras catch every angle of the front door and driveway. We changed the locks 4 days ago. Mail's going to a P.O. box now. Maybe it's overkill, but with Mom ramping things up, we didn't have much choice. Think they'll realize we're gone before the email goes out? Julian asks, shoving the last shirt into his suitcase. I look down at my phone. Mom's called 5 times already today. They'll notice, I say. But by then, we'll be watching the fog roll over the mountains. The doorbell rings. My whole body tenses. Ignore it, Julian says as he zips up the suitcase. The bell goes off again, louder this time, followed by pounding knocks. My phone buzzes, a text from Kira at work. Your mom and sister are here at the studio. They're asking for you. Should I tell them you're at a client site? My throat tightens. They're at my job. What? Julian takes my phone and reads the message. That's way over the line. Another text pops up. Your mom is crying. Sierra is telling everyone you've cut the family off over a car. I sit down on the bed, the room tilting around me. Mom's working the tears for my colleagues. Julian's jaw clenches. They think they can get to you through your job. Then Kira sends one last update. Gwen just told the office manager you're having a severe stress reaction, and the family is deeply concerned. Now anger drowns out the shock. She's trying to wreck my professional reputation. While I call my office manager to explain everything, Julian checks his phone and swears. The GoFundMe, he says, showing me the screen. It's hit $2,200. Sierra posted a new update, claiming we threatened to sue her for telling the truth about emotional neglect. The doorbell goes off yet again. Julian peeks through the blinds. It's your dad. My father's voice comes through the door. Anya, please. Your mother might need medical attention from all this stress. You need to talk to her. I fire off a quick email to HR, attaching Kira's screenshots of Mom cornering my coworkers in the lobby. My voice stays steady when I finally answer through the door. Dad, if Mom needs medical attention, call 911. That's not on me. He tries again. She's your mother. And I'm your daughter, I say. But that doesn't make me responsible for her emotional games. After he leaves, Julian's phone lights up with texts from an unknown number. Your wife is isolating you from your family. Is that the kind of life you want? Julian blocks it without a word. Ready to go? He asks. I take one last look around our place, wondering what we'll come back to. Let's get out of here. The Jeep starts. As we drive away, I refuse to look back. Their emergency isn't mine. I tell myself that again, for both of us. 3 days later, we're holed up in a cabin overlooking the Smoky Mountains. Kira sends another update. The security cameras caught everything, Sierra keying her own car door in our driveway in a frustrated rage when our neighbor asked her to leave. Your mom tried calling my parents, Julian says, hanging up his phone. Mom told her flat out that manipulation isn't a family value. The boundary email worked. 2 aunts messaged me, saying they're seeing Gwen's stories in a new light. I reported the GoFundMe for fraudulent claims and sent documentation proving Sierra was employed. That night, my father calls again. He sounds different this time, exhausted, worn out. I hear him in the background, not realizing I've picked up. Gwen, maybe we pushed too hard. Then he realizes I'm on the line. Anya, he starts, your sister's facing consequences at her new job. That scene got back to her employer. That's unfortunate, I say, and I mean it. I don't want Sierra to get hurt. I just want all this to stop. Can you call her? Smooth things over? Dad asks. No, Dad. This isn't my mess to clean up. After we hang up, I post a photo of Julian and me watching the sunset from a mountain overlook. No caption, just us quiet. Within minutes, friends and coworkers fill the comments with heart emojis and support. Maya sends me a private text. Everyone sees what they're doing. We're all Team Anya. The contrast is sharp peace here in the mountains, chaos back there. And for once, I'm not pulled into their storm. While they scramble to control the story, we're out here hiking quiet trails, finding hidden waterfalls, and warming up by the cabin's fireplace. That night, an anonymous email shows up. I know this routine. Your mom did the same thing to her cousin years ago. Stay strong. Some of us are watching and we see you. I show Julian, and he just pulls me in close. We're doing the right thing. Later, lying in bed with the sound of crickets drifting through the window, I realize this mess has made our marriage stronger. We got through our first real crisis and came out together. I love you, Julian whispers in the dark. I love you too, I say, and suddenly it feels like the weight I've been carrying for years starts to fade. My phone pings with a notification. It's Sierra on social, short and to the point. Families are messy. And for once, Mom hasn't added her usual comment underneath. There it is, the first crack in their united front. 5 days go by. Another notification. This time it's my mother's voice, trembling through the speaker, every sob perfectly placed. "I'm your mother, Anya. How could you do this to me?" She breaks down in exactly the same spots she always does when she wants something. "After everything I've done for you." I just set the phone on the nightstand. Julian glances up from his book, raising an eyebrow. "The usual," I say, deleting the message. Apparently, we're tearing the family apart by ignoring the calls. Julian's phone lights up next. "Family intervention scheduled for this Sunday," he reads. "Your father insists everyone be there." Then my cousin Hannah chimes in, "You should really come. Your mom is a wreck. Whatever happened can be fixed." Then Dad, "Anya, I think you've misunderstood our intentions. Come Sunday, and we can talk this out." Julian finds a video from Sierra. She looks straight at the camera, face serious. "Anya, I just want to say I'm sorry for any misunderstanding." But you can hear Mom's words coming right through her mouth. "Family should forgive and forget." That's Mom's favorite line. I close my eyes, let out a long breath. The real emergency? It's that their grip on me is slipping. The messages keep coming. Aunt Patricia calls about Mom's decline. Uncle Marcus emails about being the bigger person. Tyler texts, "You only get one family." They all say the same thing beneath the surface: come back, apologize, restore the old order. Then Mom ups the ante. A formal letter arrives, with legal letterhead to make it look important. She's threatening to contest the small inheritance I received from my grandfather. Julian flips through the pages. She says you're being unduly influenced and are not acting in your own best interest. My phone buzzes again, old college friends, out of nowhere. "Heard you're going through a tough time. Your mom's worried about your stability." Then Mom's latest Facebook post pops up. A mother's heart breaks when the child she raised becomes a stranger. "Praying for my daughter's return to herself." Sierra follows it up. "When someone you love changes overnight, it's a red flag. Family support is crucial." Finally, my cousin forwards an invite to my parents' 35th wedding anniversary party next month. Fancy script, the works. "Come celebrate the rebuilding of our family bonds." I stare at all the messages spread across the table. "It would be so easy," I whisper. "Just go. Nod. Pretend it never happened. Make the noise stop." Julian sits down next to me, his hand warm over mine. Would it though? Would it really just go away? That night, Julian looks up from his laptop. "Do you think a total cutoff is necessary? Maybe some structured, limited contact?" I wasn't expecting that. "You're the one who said." "I know. I'm behind you, whatever you choose." He closes his laptop. "They're still your parents. And your sister." I replay Mom's voicemail in my head. That old, familiar ache spreads through my chest, the feeling I've had since I was a kid, like I'm responsible for everyone's happiness. What if I'm overreacting? I whisper. What if I'm just being petty about a Jeep? Julian sits with me on the couch. Let's look at this, not from anger or hurt, but with clear eyes. We spend hours talking it through, every guilt trip, every time I was supposed to give while Sierra took. We trace the patterns all the way back to childhood, how Mom always made herself the martyr whenever anyone pushed back. It's not about the Jeep, I say, finally. The truth settles over me, heavy and solid. It never was. The next morning, I draft a letter. I didn't write this out of anger or to get back at anyone. I wrote it with the kind of clarity you get when you finally step back and see things as they are. This is for my family. I'm setting boundaries, real ones, not up for debate. No more dropping by without 48 hours notice. No gifts that come with strings. No discussing me or my marriage with others unless I give permission. If anyone crosses these lines, I'll cut off contact for 3 months. After that, before we talk again, we'll have to do family therapy, with a therapist I choose and approve. To make sure there's no confusion, I've included proof. There's a timeline of everything, 18 years of it, from the bedroom I lost at 10 to the Jeep fiasco on my wedding day. There's video of Mom trying to manipulate the narrative. Statements from friends who witnessed this pattern. Financial records showing I've been financially independent since I was 17, while Sierra received continuous support. There's even a brief note from my therapist on family dynamics and scapegoating. Julian and I went to the DMV and put the Jeep in just our names. We ignored the so-called intervention summons. As Julian and I get ready to send our answer, I tell him, we're doing this our way. The package lands on my parents' doorstep Tuesday morning, right before their big family meeting. At the same time, every relative who tried to guilt us into making peace gets a copy in their email. Mom calls within the hour, voice sharp and panicked. What is this? You can't actually expect, those are my terms, I say. Calm. Not mad. Not vengeful. Just tired. I want peace. Sierra posts a sneering screenshot of my boundaries list on her Instagram stories. By afternoon, she takes it down, after several family friends chime in, saying she's proving my point about disrespect. Uncle Marcus calls, sounding shocked. I had no idea it was this systematic, Anya. Aunt Patricia sends a text, we won't be attending the intervention. Dad's call surprises me most. His voice is quiet, almost broken. I've been reading your timeline. I didn't see the full picture, not even living in it. We failed you, Anya. He pauses a long time. 2 days later, Mom leaves a voicemail. Her voice sounds thin, like someone I barely recognize. I may have made mistakes. I only ever wanted the best for my girls. Julian shows me Sierra's latest TikTok rant. Imagine being the golden child for 28 years, then getting dethroned over a hunk of metal. The big family meeting gets canceled. Invitations to the anniversary party are quietly revised, the rebuilding bonds line removed. The legal threats about my grandfather's inheritance fade away. A month goes by. No calls, no texts. Nothing. It's the longest quiet I've ever had. One crisp Saturday, Julian tosses me the Jeep keys. Where to? I slide into the driver's seat, check the mirror. For the first time, I see someone I actually recognize. Anywhere, I say. As long as it's forward. We drive along the parkway, windows down. This same vehicle that once felt like a battleground now carries us away free. The irony isn't lost on me. Losing a family that always demanded I shrink? That's how I found my voice. The road ahead looks open. 7 months after the wedding, I'm in our backyard in Asheville, fingers in the cool soil, planting lavender next to the sage. Julian and I live in a renovated bungalow, far from all that noise. The freelance illustration business I started 4 months ago already has a waiting list. Buckley, our scrappy terrier mix, dozes in a patch of sun. We barely check the security app anymore. Tea's ready, Julian calls from the kitchen window. Saturday morning tea on the porch is our ritual now, along with long hikes with Buckley and pizza nights where we try to outdo each other with weird toppings. I brush the dirt from my hands and breathe in the smell of chamomile and earth. The air here feels different, clean, not heavy like the air in my childhood home. The mail comes as I'm washing up. Julian sorts through it, then pauses. It's from your mother, he says, a little cautious. My chest tightens for a second, then releases. Let me see. Inside is a card with a generic landscape. Her handwriting fills every inch. We miss you. Family should forgive. I read it once, give a small, wry smile and tear it in half, the same phrase she used at the wedding, but this time, I don't feel a thing. No anger, no tears. Just a quiet certainty. On our bookshelf sits a framed wedding photo, the moment of truth, captured forever. Mom's face, wide-eyed, stunned. Julian, close by, steady as ever. My hand steady as I held that envelope. I used to look at that memory and feel nothing but anxiety. Not anymore. Now it's the day I finally chose myself. You okay? Julian asked, watching me toss the ripped card into the compost bin. Better than okay, I said, and I meant it. The woman who spent 2 decades playing the compliant daughter, always accommodating, keeping the peace, she's gone. In her place? Someone who finally understands her worth isn't tied to what she can provide for others. Turns out, building a chosen life heals in ways pleading never did. Boundaries don't destroy families, they define healthy ones. Later that night, we ordered Vietnamese food and toasted our freedom anniversary. Julian lifted his glass. To quiet nights. I grinned. To honest days. Lena and Sam came by for board games, and for once, the evening was just fun. These new friendships, built on mutual respect, aren't weighed down by old scripts. Without family drama consuming my energy, My creativity is soaring. I won't lie, on Mother's Day or Christmas Eve, I still feel a pang. But those moments are passing clouds, not permanent storms. You know what I've noticed? Julian said as our friends headed out. You laugh more easily these days. He was right. Last week, a client confided in me about her overbearing mother. I shared my story, no shame, just facts. Gave her the name of my therapist and the books that helped me. I could see the relief in her eyes. She felt seen. Now, I volunteer occasionally for an online mentor program for young creatives. Quietly, not for praise. Helping others find their footing. It's incredible how something strong can be built from broken pieces. The next evening, we drove up to a high overlook. Same Jeep that used to be a symbol of conflict. Now it represents autonomy. I rolled the windows down and let the mountain air clear my head. For years, I thought loyalty meant silence. I told Julian I spent so long believing love meant never saying no. The holidays are coming, but for once, I'm not drafting excuses in my head. The past is still there, but it's a chapter I've closed, not a cell I'm living in. We stopped to watch the stars come out, the sky a deep velvet scattered with silver. I held the car keys, felt their solid shape. Not just keys to a Jeep, but to my own decisions. Family isn't about obligation, I said softly as Julian took my hand. It's about who shows up for you with respect, not demands. Beyond us, the mountains rolled into darkness, vast and peaceful. Ever had to draw a line with family just to protect your peace? Anya learned that sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is say no. What about you? What would you have done? Tell me.